Okay, like I said, the owner sees the drawing and says, I like the way that looks. You're going to take care of that for me, right, Mr. Contractor? And you're going to go, sure, let me get into this project. And this is what they see, but this is not what they get. See, they see a existing house. Hey, easy boy. Okay, so this is what they see. They see their fireplace, their existing fascia board, as we talked about. And the addition starting about here continues back. And they say, oh, that'll be great. The fascia board's going to go straight across. And on the other side, naturally the fascia board's going to line right up, isn't it? Again, this is to show you have to address these issues. You cannot do everything exactly as the drawing says. All right, now, second day of framing, and you got your blueprints. Got details that are very specific. But then you start looking real close. They got an architectural page, which shows you what it's supposed to look like from the outside. Then you have framing details. Then you have structural notes or specific details that go with certain spots. And I'm going to show you what happens. They require 2x12 rafters. And of course, what's got to happen is the existing roof has to plane in to the new addition, but it's not going to, and this is why. The existing roof rafters are 2x4s or 2x6s, and now we're stacking a 2x12 on our outside wall. The wall height's got to be the same. See it? There's the old wall, right? The old brown wood. We actually put a new plate in there because take care of business. And then you got the new wall framed the exact same height. But look how tall these rafters are. Why are they so tall? Well, because the code requires a certain amount of space in them for insulation. Okay, so I say there's no way around it. That is, if you just do it standard. There's always a way around it, but there's always a compromise. In other words, what has to happen is this outside wall, the new framing, should have been lower by 5 inches. So you're telling your client, the room is shorter in order for me to do the detail properly, in order for the architectural to look the same as it shows there. So obviously that's not what the customer wants to hear. But if you look at the detail, well, you can see the rafter, massive 2x12, big notch. Automatically that puts this thing higher, see? The existing house, the rafter, this portion here is only about 5 inches up, so now we're way higher. So that looks good on paper, but in reality it doesn't line up with the existing house. You go to the details and it tells you that's the cutout. Look at that. And the crazy thing is they have another detail right below it showing a 2x8 rafter. Where is this on our house? We don't have this condition. It would have worked better, yes, it would have been perfect. But no, we got a 2x12. So he basically set us up for failure, and I didn't catch it in the bidding process. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. Look at that. Tell me we didn't do that detail right there. Full bearing, right? Notched overhang. There it is, full bearing and notched overhang. Exactly like the drawings. But like I said, look at the top of that rafter. How much higher is it off the plate than the original one over here? This one's got a standing leg of about 3 inches. So like I said, if you look at the architectural drawing, it shows this fascia board straight through to the back. And I explained it already. Impossible. Unless you want a 7-foot ceiling in your rooms. One more note about these rafters. The framer actually did lower them a little bit. As you can see, they do come in the room. Right there, the plane of that goes below 8 feet. So I mentioned it might be as low as 7, but he took out about 2 or 3 inches there, and that way he was able to lower it so we didn't have such a large transition on the other side. So these are the issues you have to deal with as a contractor. So like I already showed you, that puts this fascia board higher, and it actually looks pretty nice. but it's not per the drawing. So you have to be careful what you promise your client, because you know there's one drawing that shows it this way and maybe another drawing that tells you to do something else, and you're going to have trouble coming through.